Okay, hello everyone. So, I'm making this video a day after almost a day after the state of play, because it came live at 11 p.m. my time. So, yeah, I decided not to avoid doing a video and then do it the day after, which is what I'm doing right now. So, yeah. But anyway. We got 35 minutes of content to go through, so let's get on with the show. And we'll start off with a gameplay trailer of Sorrows, which is, for instance purposes, Returnal, but with a male character. So, yeah, male Indian character, at least of Indian origins. So, yeah, not much to say here. If you play Returnal, I'm going to assume it plays almost exactly the same. Then we got possibly the biggest surprise, one of the biggest surprise at least of the state of play, that being Zero Parades, which I've written in my notes, Disco Elysium sequel, because same developer, same art style. I would assume it's probably going to be a sequel of Disco Elysium, or at least if it's not going to be a sequel, at least like a side, like a spin-off or whatever. But yeah, that's the biggest surprise of the that's right now that's the biggest surprise of the state of play. And then we got the exact opposite next, that being Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, to which it was, for the purposes, one of the worst kept secrets in the one of the worst kept secrets, because if you remember, I think it was last year / 2 years ago that some Xbox games were going to make the jump on PlayStation, and Microsoft Flight Simulator was one of them, alongside Gears of War, and apparently Halo as well, and of course Forza Horizon as well. So, yeah, and in fact I wrote in my notes how long before Halo happens. But yeah, then we got the campaign trailer for Battlefield 6, to which, considering they took a year off with 2042, I'd say, yeah, sure, that's a warm welcome. That's a warm return. And then, let's talk about the game that apparently pissed off a lot of people, that being Deus Ex Remastered. Now, I say it pissed off a lot of people because there was this video that was released after the state of play that said something like, "You don't hate remasters enough," which, of course, I didn't watch it because I don't care, but I'm going to assume it talks. I'm going to assume it's going to talk about like something like why companies waste time creating remasters when they can, just make new games. But yeah, and basically the biggest complaint that I've seen is the fact that it looks really ugly, almost AI-like. But yeah, to me, I really don't care because I never cared about Deus Ex. But I wrote in my notes, wonder if they're going to they're using AI voices again, because from what I remember reading, Aspire, which are the company behind the remaster, as well as the remasters of Tomb Raider 1 through 6, apparently they got in trouble, and I mean big trouble, with the French voice actors of Lara, because in the French version they apparently used AI voices without, of course, her consent, and apparently, if I remember correctly, she even threatened to sue them. Now, I don't know if she actually went through with the thing, but considering I haven't seen anything, I guess she wasn't, or they just apologized and just left it at that. But yeah. Then after that, we got Halloween the game, which in my notes I wrote basically Dead by Daylight but bastardized, because it is what it is. Then we got the PS5 port of Last Epoch plus the first DLC. Now, Last Epoch, I remember reading somewhere that it's a very, very good game, even potential game of the year stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Outside of that, I honestly never heard about this game. So yeah. But anyway, then we got the Seven Deadly Sins Origin. I never watched the show, so this was a skip. And then we got Mega Man and Proto Man for Sonic Crazy Cross Worlds. Now, I've said in the video, actually no, I never said my opinions on Sonic Cross Worlds, even though I played them a couple of days ago. And but long story short, the game is really fun, but good fucking god, the car loves to understeer, even during drifts. Even when drifting the corners, the car sometimes just understeer for no fucking reason, even when drifting. But yeah, outside of that, the game is pretty fun, and my playthrough of the demo, of course, I had to end on a nail biter because I picked Sonic and my rival was Knuckles, and we arrived at the final race of the cup that we were doing, tied, and I beat Knuckles at the line. So yeah, because of course I had to have the nail biter. So yeah, and this was on normal. So even so there's that as well. But yeah. But speaking of this, of Mega Man and Pearl Man, at this point, how many DLC characters do we have by now confirmed? We got Joker from Persona 5, Hatsune Miku, the Minecraft stuff, Pac-Man, and now these two guys. So, what the fuck? What's gonna be next? I jokingly say that the next character is going to be either Lando Norris or Oscar Piastri because now Sega has a partnership with McLaren, the McLaren Formula 1 team. So yeah, I'm going to assume any of them are going to be a DLC character for this game, if not both of them. And to be fair, it'll be a lot more deserved than Danica Patrick, if you remember that one. But yeah, then we got the release date for Neo 3, which is February 6, 2026. Of course, it's Neo, so whatever. And then we got the announcement of the remaster of Dynasty Warriors 3, to which, again, second remastered in this thing. So yeah, I'm going to assume people are probably getting tired of remasters if the video's anything to go by. So yeah. Then we got the trailer for Code Vein 2, to which I wrote in my notes, how did I find the money for this again? Because I'm pretty sure this game was not a success, or at least it barely was a success. But I doubt that it racked enough money to actually, warrant itself a sequel. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's been 10 years since the first game, and for the ones who played it, I challenge you to find something good about the first Code Vein that isn't the character creator, because I'll admit I also used the character creator back in my early days of making characters before I switched over to AI. But anyway, then we got another trailer for Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles update, so whatever. Then we got Let It Die Inferno, which is apparently the sequel of Let It Die, which I never heard of about, by the way. And this is from word of mouth from developers themselves. It's roguelite / PvPvE or extraction shooter, extraction action, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I wrote in my notes, in other words, next, with 2 exclamation marks, because yeah, that's a hard skip for me. Then we got Chronoscript: The Endless End, which is also made by a Japanese developer, and I wrote in my notes, here comes the endless Metroidvania thanks to Silk Song, because yeah, this is now I know Metroidvanias are popular, but now it's almost certain that we're gonna get even more because of Silk Song. I mean, if we get inundated by Souls-like because of all Dark Souls and Elden Ring, it's gonna happen that we're gonna get inundated by roguelikes. Metroidvania, sorry. Well, roguelikes as well if Hades 2 ends up being a success, but still. Then we got a trailer for Crimson Desert, made by the developers of now, God, what the fuck? Black Desert, I think it was the name. I don't remember. It's Pearl Abyss, so yeah. Then we got a trailer for the wireless speakers the pulse-level wireless speakers that these guys are going to make. So hardware, so it doesn't really matter. Then we got the addition of Alan Wake 2, God Simulator 3, and Cocoon on the PS Plus catalog, as well as The Last of Us 2 Remastered on that thing. Then we got Tekken 3, Soul Calibur 3, and Tomb Raider Anniversary on the Classics game catalog. And then we got, and after that we got possibly the other big surprise, at least something that I was definitely not expecting, an update about Gran Turismo 7. Specifically, the spec-free update, which is going to include new cars, including a Formula Type 1, and 2 new tracks in Yas Marina and Montreal. To which I didn't write anything in my notes, but Montreal Oh god, I think it's gonna be a fucking penalty fest online, and Yas Marina as well. But Montreal is is probably the likeliest one because it's a much more tighter track than Yas Marina. Actually, for Yas Marina, I mean I mean Yas Marina is probably not that big of a penalty fest if they're going to use the layout the Formula One has been using since 2021, where they completely skipped the Mickey Mouse section. And they completely number one, they skip the chicane and just go for the hairpin after first corners from the start finish line, and skip and actually don't use the older version with the step instead of the long super corner they got since 2021 after the second DRS zone. But actually no, third DRS. No. How many fucking DRS zones does Yas Marina? 2 or 3? They got the long straight, that's the one. Oh no, the second DRS zone, yeah, second DRS zone, yeah, second DRS zone, so yeah. Still, we finally got new tracks after a very long while, so yeah, I honestly sort of want to try out how they feel, how Yas Marina and Montreal feel like in the game, but I also want to say, guys, where's Apricot Hill? You teased it so long ago. Where the fuck is Apricot Hill? But yeah, and then of course we're gonna end up with the announcement of a special controller for the 20th anniversary of God of War, and then finally, some news about fucking Insomniac Wolverine, and it's basically some some stuff to hype up the game. The fact that it's gonna be gory as fuck. Of course some talk about from the actor that's gonna be playing Wolverine, and of course the release date is gonna be fall 2026. So yeah, of course the reveal of the cover, which is Wolverine with a on a yellow background, to which some of my friends memed about Insomniac attempt to make a super basic cover that does not include one single color in the main character impossible. To which I immediately responded, "Look at the cover of Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart." Yeah, we got really good news, and of course the hope for everybody that wants to play this game is that they redeem themselves after the colossal fuck up at this point, we can say, of Spider-Man 2. But yeah, and that was the direct, sure. The state of play, even though it is the direct, it's a rip off of the direct. But yeah, all in all, it was pretty average. I'm not gonna say mediocre, but it was pretty average. Still had 2 big surprises, but yeah, two big surprises, or at least 3 in my case, because again, I wasn't expecting any new super countries for 7 on that still play. But yeah, I'd say it is pretty average. So nothing to say here. And with that, see you next time.